All right, guys, here we are. Oh, how ugly is your face? How ugly is your face now? I really need to see. 'Cause we're living in a world of dogs. Ow! Ready to pounce. And I know you don't have an ounce of integrity. Anyway. It is another day, another mole. Look at that right there. Just showing you guys the usual stuff. What about here? I think the Audi is weird. I thought it was going away, but it's not. It just stays there. Look at that. And the Innie Audi. Some extra stuff pops up, some stuff goes away. It's an age-old battle. But eventually maybe we'll win. I don't know. I was thinking about SpaceX, and I was thinking about why it was so easy to land on the moon. Why was it so easy to land on the moon back in the day? Well, there was one very important thing, was there were less eyes in the skies, and not everybody could see what's going on the moon. It wasn't always as televised. Most of the mistakes that were being made in the past got, swept under the rug, so we didn't know they were even happening. So there's that. And then there's also the fact that they had nuclear powered rockets. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We had nuclear powered rockets going to the moon. Not like today. Today we have these funky gas powered machines that go to the moon. And so therefore, it's more difficult to balance them out, right? And then we had a lot more analog going on, and now we have a lot more digital going on. So, the technology changed a little bit since the past to today. And so there's where we have the biggest problems. And why would Putin or why would Russia sweep a bunch of things under the rug? Because it's simple, right? Because if America uses nuclear powered rockets, then they could use the technology as well. So it's all hush hush. It's all hush hush. We can pretend to be enemies, right? So that we can use the better technology, and the rest of the world needs to be behind. But that only worked until China figured out what they were doing, and now they're using this to their advantage, because America can't disclose it and Russia can't disclose that we were going to the moon with nuclear powered rockets. And so they get to use the technology as well, because they realized it, but they're just doing it better. Because even though we went, you guys cannot advance any further, they said, I can't hear you. Just like the, what do you call those? The pirates from the show, right? I can't hear you. And they just did their own thing. So now there's 3 countries that are going into space using nuclear powered rockets. But you say, if they're using nuclear powered engines, why is there so much smoke coming from beneath the rockets? Aren't those also jet fueled? And you only need 1 or 2 of those to make the smoke, right? Smoke and mirrors. But all you need is the important ones to be powered the right way. So, it's easy to fool people. It's easy to fool people. How many remote control planes have we seen, right? That the jet is actually electric powered, but then you have a separate system that makes the smoke in the back. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard, guys. So that's where we are today, and that's why Russia is hush-hush with the United States, because they're in on the joke. They're in on the joke that nobody knows about. Yet there's plenty of plans. There's even YouTube videos and old VHS footage of these nuclear, God, I can't talk no more. Nuclear powered engines, rocket engines. That is what we used to go from here to there. And also there's the fact that in the past, all those Apollos and all those other like space rockets didn't have to come back down to Earth and land, right? You only cared about making all the smoke going one way because you didn't have to come back down. And so there you are. There, it's explained. It's explained. It's not rocket science. It's just magic, smoke and mirrors. Oh, if only people would get this stuff. Oh, Elon. Oh, Elon. Poor Elon. He has to continue to do all this stuff. Like, look how hard you've made his job. He could use nuclear-powered rockets like we used to when we went to the moon. But no, he had to come up with all this new engineering and all this revamping of horrible rockets that are big oil sponsored just to do what NASA couldn't, because NASA sucks. Listen, if we defunded NASA, if we stopped NASA from existence, would anything happen? Would anybody even notice? Probably not. Same as the White House. If we stopped funding the White House, you know how much it costs to run the Capitol and the White House? Those two buildings alone? How many billions of dollars we could save and put back in the pockets of our civilians, of citizens, American citizens? So much money. We could have universal basic income and universal health care just by getting rid of those three things. NASA and two buildings, the Capitol and the White House. I mean, Donald Quack can run the entire country just like Joe Obama did from a basement or Mar-a-Lago. Does he need to be in a White House? No, he doesn't. And what about all the rigmarole? Yay, nay, shuffle around a couple of papers, and then we never get the things that we want, like family paid leave, that kind of stuff. They can just zoom it in. Zoom it in, then we'll watch them on Zoom/C-SPAN, and we can just watch them from home. Like the secret guy in the background with his cat. All the secret, scary, evil characters from the cartoons, Inspector Gadget and stuff. They can just zoom it in. What's the difference? Why are we paying for all this extra? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Poor Elon. I feel sorry for Elon. All this extra work for what? And for what?